Well, good morning. Welcome everyone to the First Bank webinar. My name is Doug Loft and I am the Chief Information Officer here at First Bank. On behalf of the entire First Bank team, we welcome you and hope you'll all gain insight and knowledge from this technological advancement called AI. We believe that AI can be leveraged in a way that helps you build your brand and take your business hopefully to a whole nother level. Before we get started, we would like to share with you a brief video from our chairman, Mike Dearberg.
Family business is so much more than just business as usual. It takes an entirely different mindset, a different vision. You know a bright future is found in strong traditions. You see the freedom in looking further down the road. As part of the fourth generation of my family to help lead First Bank, I know we share your vision. That's why we've created the First Bank Center for Family-Owned Businesses to share our experience with monthly webinars, tailored products, tools, and education specific to family-owned businesses. Your vision is our vision. Let our experience be yours. Let's see what your future can be.
At First Bank, we strive to bring you tools, education, and resources that will assist you in running your entire business more effectively. Today, we're excited to bring you the founders of AI23, an organization on the leading edge of artificial intelligence movement and revolution. If you, our audience, have any questions throughout the presentation, we invite you to type your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, not chat. We will get to as many questions as we possibly can towards the end of the podcast. And with that, please join me in welcoming Hector Garcia, Reko Moreno, and Natalee Champlin.
Reko over there on the far end, AKA Senor Suave. He's a film producer and Hollywood director. And he's leaning into AI just like I am. And we've got Natalee here, Natalee Champlin, AKA Inca Barbie. She's also in business for herself. We're all in business for ourselves, and we're all leaning into AI. I guess let's get this thing kicked off. So today we're going to be talking about leveraging the power of AI to build a brand. And I'm very excited to talk about this. Here's your AI Mavericks. I just introduced you just a second ago. So we met probably 10 months ago at a mastermind, and we were probably the most excited about AI of anybody there. So we kind of gravitated toward each other, and we just decided to start working together. We started this podcast, and we just are all about AI. Now, we blend human intelligence with artificial intelligence. And for you guys today, we wanted to do something that was pretty special, and we kind of came out with this idea out of thin air. Let's see. So I want to take you guys back just a little bit to 1990. And that year was revolutionary in my life because there was a revolution going on within the art world. And I've always been into art. And so back in 1990, changed the trajectory of my life. Anybody remember 1990? Gas prices were like $1. That's crazy. Anybody remember this ad? I'm hoping that most of you guys do remember this. I'm sure some of you won't remember this because you weren't around yet. But this was a really, really cool ad that just kind of cemented things that I was all about. So I grew up in LA and I loved art. I was surrounded by art. And when I went to, in high school, I won all the accolades that were there. And so I really had a strong grasp on art. And in 1990, I learned the Mac. And this ad just resonated with me so much. Once I learned the Mac, I had this opportunity to work at this agency. And it was a wonderful agency where they, were able to look at my art skills and they asked me if I knew how to use this piece of equipment. And I said, yes, I did. So they invited me in, they hired me, and I was in this amazing advertising agency where they worked in big brands, and I was like a kid in a candy store. And soon after I started working, the grumbling started. And I started hearing people going, you know what? I don't want to touch that keyboard. I'm a true artist. I use these hands to create art. So I draw with them, I paint with them. I'm not a computer operator. I'm not touching that keyboard. And I was like, wow, I found myself as an early adopter in the world of the Macintosh. So little by little, people started disappearing from this agency. And I was like, hey, what happened to so-and-so? And they're like, yeah, we didn't really need them anymore. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible. And like, we didn't need them. So I was actually replacing other people's jobs because I was an early adopter in the Macintosh. So I put those skills to work. And soon they wanted to, purchase more Macintoshes, and they want to know, hey, do you know anyone who can operate these? And anyhow, little by little, this changed the trajectory of my life and the trajectory and the course of my career. So I just wanted to share that story with you because I feel like today in 2024, 34 years later, I'm feeling the same rumbling as I've leaned into AI and my partners here, Reko and Natalee, have leaned into it. We just see that it's a huge opportunity for everyone to lean into it. And we have this podcast that we host every Saturday, and we absolutely love the opportunities that this is bringing toward us. So um, I think that um, if we can do it, you can do it. And this is opening up so many opportunities for us. Like, I'm all about art. I've had my agency for 25 years, and I absolutely love it. And finding two other individuals that have their own businesses. We're very busy people, but we find time for AI, and I think you guys share the same sentiment. We use this tool. It's just a tool every single day. So human intelligence versus artificial intelligence. I think that's going to be paramount going forward. So we came out with this product um, out of thin air specifically for you guys. We wanted to create something that um, was relevant, and this happens to be relevant to my business, but AI can bleed into anybody's business. So leaning into that, um, we wanted to kind of give you an example of what my world looks like. If I had to do this, which all of this that you see, folks, is artificial intelligence. If this was done a mere 12 months ago, this would have costed several $1,000s. I would have had to contact one of my photographers, a professional food photographer, and they would have had to, I would have had to like go, hey, I need a set with natural light. Somebody's gonna have to do some shopping. We're gonna have to get some vegetables and some herbs and some bottles, and we have to source all this stuff. Somebody with a full kitchen, and that's not including the actual design of the packaging. It's like this process that we did. You're looking at AI. Normally would take 3 weeks to book and cost several $1,000s, not including the design of the package or the logos.
How long did it take you to do that?
This happened. We came out with this the idea was spawned probably 2 weeks ago, and we put it into production a week ago. Speed to market.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge.
Awesome.
Natalee.
Well, I love Hector's story because he's been through this revolution uh, and so him being here now, like it's such a fun way for us to take a look at how can we each individually look at AI, how can we use it? And so we want to show you guys how we made this brand out of thin air and also give you some ideas on how it might be, how you might incorporate AI into what you're doing already. It'd be awesome if we can see, I think we can see the chat. If you guys want to maybe drop in the comments, let us know. Are you already using AI? And if so, in what ways? So we can get a feel for where you guys are at with this. But we've got some gifts for you guys that we want to give you at the end of the webinar. So we have an insider's guide on how to leverage these tools in your life and in your business. And so we're going to be giving that away, as well as 2 custom GPTs that we use to create this product, the Thin Air Snacks product that you saw. So we're going to walk you through how we actually literally built a brand out of thin air and what it looks like to do that. And as we do that, you'll see some ways that you can apply using these different AI tools into your own business in a lot of different ways, whether that be in marketing, customer service, finance. There's endless possibilities for how you can be leveraging AI in your business. So the first thing that we did with this food product is Hector, so he's in the food business, right? And he said, look, we've got this chip and maybe what we could do is we could take this and use this for our webinar presentation. So we said, all right, if we're going to have an incredible brand for these chips, then we need to understand our customer. And if you look at what's going on in the world today with brands like Mr. Beast and what he does on YouTube, he's got drinks and he's got chocolate and he's got a YouTube channel and all these things. And because he's built a brand and because he understands his customers so well, he can then create other products and services that he's selling to people to increase revenue. But it's all because of that brand. And so brand starts with understanding your customer. So the first thing that we did is we built an ideal client GPT. And this is one of the GPTs that we're going to give you guys. And you do need ChatGPT to use it. But what happens is you go in and we just said, hey, look, we have this incredible chip. It's organic, it's vegan, it's super healthy. We think it would be great for this type of a person. So we went in and said, here's all of the specs about our product, and here's who we think they are. And we think they shop at Sprouts, and we think that they value, they do yoga on the weekends, and so we're looking at who might this person be. And this is a really important part of leveraging AI for a few reasons. Number one is that the better you get to know your customer, the easier it is for you to build brand promises and messaging and campaigns that really align with them and what they want. The second thing that's cool about using AI for this is you can actually test it out on your AI. So we went through this process and we actually created some specs of what we thought this could look like, and then sent it back and said, hey, act as our customer and give us feedback. What do you think about this logo? What do you think about these designs? And you can ask the ChatGPT to actually rate these things and say, you know what, this design is an 8 out of 10. And then, hey, okay, cool. What would it take to make this a 10 out of 10? So these are just some of the ways that you can use an AI. Now, another thing that's really important about how you're using AIs is the way that you're prompting it. So in prompt engineering, there's a style called personas. And personas are really cool because what it does is it really narrows down the AI so that it understands its role that it needs to play for you. So the way that you would use persona prompting or persona prompt engineering is by literally going to your ChatGPT and saying, you will act as and insert the role, whatever that role might be. You will act as a customer service agent. You will act as a social media strategist. Really, it's up to you and your imagination of what it can do for you. So using personas has 5 main steps to it. You want to first assign it a role. Then you want to give it a specialty. So if you're assigning it to be a social media strategist, your specialty is going to be for fitness products, healthy foods, and you want to narrow that down. Then you want to make sure that you tell it about the values of your company so it understands your company. Then you tell it about your customer and your offers, and you're good to go. The next best thing to do is to ask it, how can you help me? So leveraging these personas is a great way to get started with AI. In fact, let me check the chat here. Okay, so we've got a couple comments. We use AI to ideate user personas and images that connect with our client's audience. It's amazing how we can create a library of images that are brand specific, color, tone, consistency. Love it. So we've got people in here who are already using AI. Fabulous. So once we got our client persona for these chips, we said, all right, now we gotta create a brand. So what I did is I created the persona. We got some mood boards going for what this AI might look like, or excuse me, what the chips might look like. So we knew that the chip, the kind of the history of it was a Asian Latin blend, and it was light and airy, and so it needed to represent those things. And so we started coming up with the AI came up with a mood board that I was able to then pass off to Hector's team, who
Yeah,
took it further.
absolutely. Yes. So when you prompted the ChatGPT and you had that relationship, that circular relationship where you're just asking it all these questions and it's spitting stuff out, and you're like, you know what, act as a world-class fill in the blank, right? And so we just continue to have that human to artificial intelligence relationship. And this mood board is what we came up with based on the prompts that Natalie generated for us. And so if you look at these, there's floral patterns, there's colors. This is Asian and Latin inspired, color palettes and craft bag that kind of leans into a more healthy, um, sustainable type of a package. We've got font choices, and I mean, these flavors of this product is so vibrant that we had to kind of, match that with the natural aspect of it. So um, here's some of the prompts that we used. This isn't the exact prompt, but this is an example of going into ChatGPT and dropping in um, the actual mood board, and it starts giving us chip packaging. It's pretty wild. I mean, if you guys have not played with it, ChatGPT will actually, it has a function, a tool called DALL-E that can do graphics. Now that's all new. Everything that we're talking about is happening at an incredible pace. So we get a little dizzy just from having to look at so many tools coming our way. We kind of lean into a handful of them and we use those on the daily. So I'm going to show you once we prompt, we use a couple of tools. One of them is Midjourney. The other one is DALL-E for graphics. And as you can tell, it can't really spell that well. However, the logos are pretty cool and they're diverse. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, and that's a little bit too ethnic for where we wanted to go. We definitely want to tap into Middle America, but we wanted to showcase some of that vibrancy of the flavor and colors and culture. And so from this, we actually take old skills that we have, skills from, years of experience, and use tools from, maybe 5, 10 years ago, the Adobe suite. We use Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop, and everybody is just, it's like AI is the worst it'll ever be. Tomorrow it's going to be better. The day after it's going to be better. So we take these logos in the state that they are, and if you kind of look at thin airs, how we prompted it and had that circular relationship where we kept talking to it and getting fine-tuned results. Just look at the on the left side, that thin air, how it shows some air within the actual logo type. So, and it's not a big, bulky, bold font, so it lends itself. So we use our human intelligence to take this and then to decipher it even further. Here's the final logo. It looks phenomenal. It's clean. It's not as clunky as what it was before because we're using our human skills. This package resonates with the Latin Asian style. It's got a really nice architecture to it. It's got black line art. It's using a craft bag. If you take a look at the surrounding of the bag, that image, all of this is AI. This happens pretty quick. It's because of the experience that we have, like the experience all of you have. If you guys have some experience that is your gift, AI is just another tool that is going to enhance what you do. I don't even know how much, but tremendously. If we go back 12 months ago and you talk to a professional photographer or an illustrator and you show them something like this, it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of time. Today, this is just like, it is just really, really compressed it. So.
Hey, Hector, quick question before you transition.
Yeah,
How long did the project take from start to finish?
I'm sorry, how long did it take?
Yeah, start to finish.
From this particular slider, it took us probably a week solid. We had the idea probably 2 weeks ago, and about a week ago, we started getting busy with actually making the designs, narrowing it down. This isn't to say that this is our actual process. It's a shortened process because we wanted to have something that we could show the audience that would, hopefully provide some value and some insight into, hey, if we can do this, like I've been doing this for so long, 25 years with my own agency, infusing AI has infused energy into my staff. Everybody's excited about this. We're able to do things that we could never do before in a very shortened amount of time. Our clients are loving it. Every single day I talk to people, whether it's on the street, at the coffee shop, it doesn't matter where I'm at. To my family, they don't want to listen, but anyhow, if I talk to clients, they're just as excited as I am about it. They want to know what's new. We're doing video work all in AI. We're doing just some incredible stuff. The doors of opportunity are opening and the dollars are starting to flow in. Everybody's excited about it that I speak to, most everybody. So yeah, a week, about a week solid. It was a long, it almost took a week to explain that it took a week. All right, so we're going to move on to social media with Senor Suave over here.
All right. So you have learned a lot about ChatGPT, Midjourney, Dolly. So I'm going to reiterate some things because we're going to use all of that here when it comes to social media. So now you have your brand that we created with ChatGPT. So Natalee did a great job of discussing the things that you can do with ChatGPT, from brand strategy to help with design, and just put you in that right place in business or in branding to start the next process, which then took us to Hector, where he took a lot of the ideas and started designing the package, the look, the feel. Once you have that, well, of course, you got to market your stuff. So we've seen that in today's society, everything is gone to social media. It is the #1 place to market your goods, products, or services. But before I start on the social media and how we leverage AI, I do want to kind of get a pulse of you guys. Like, how many of you in the chat, let me know how many of you leverage the power of AI and social media, or actually just social media. How many of you are actually using social media for your business or personal brand? Let me know in the chat. See if I get anybody. All right, we're getting some responses. All right, let's see the other side. How many of you think that social media is just for the kids, that you will never, ever do a TikTok dance?
Just go Google Hector's TikTok dance.
I know, yeah. So if you want to see us, we've been doing some TikTok dances. Here's the thing. I've been in both camps. I used to think that social media was a waste. I work in Hollywood. I was doing movies and television, and I saw the rise of social media, but I discounted it because I think it was my own ego, the arrogance. Oh, it's never going to compete against commercials. Well, it's taken over. And now I'm doing commercials for social media with major brands. So to me, it's funny how at one point in my life, I thought it was just nothing good. It's going to go away, to now I'm see it as probably the future of entertainment and media. So now that we're getting started with this, I want to go to the next slide. There we go. So there is the brand called Liquid Death. Some of you probably know it. Some of you probably drink this water. Some of you probably never heard of this. Liquid Death is basically water in a can, and its valuation today is $700 million. I'll repeat that again. The valuation of this water in a can is $700 million, and it only started probably 5 to 7 years ago. So the whole story of Liquid Death is a guy named Mike Cesario, who's the founder. He's a creative guy, just like Hector, creative director. And he had an idea. What if he could create a brand out of thin air, kind of like what we're doing with the chips? And instead of going into market, he had a pitch deck. He went to investors, got denied. So he decided to put some money aside and do a video. He had one can that he designed, did a video, put it on Facebook. It went viral. He then started doing some marketing for it, went back to his investors, showing numbers, millions of views, people requesting it, even distributors requesting Liquid Death. It went live. He raised the money, and today this company is almost valued at $1 billion. To me, that shows the power not only of social media, but marketing and branding. So now let's get started to what we did with thin air chips. So once I got everything from Natalee and Hector, I took all those assets and started building something for our marketing purpose, which I was going to use social media. This on the left-hand side is the ChatGPT conversation that I had to build a 15-second spot that I was going to film with my wife, who's right there on the right. And so I did a video for thin air chips, 15 seconds. It wrote the script for me and it gave me the shots. I'm going to see can we play this video?
Yeah.
So here you go. You can see the video. That's my daughter. So I shot that video on an iPhone. I edited on Adobe Premiere. I use an AI called Munch AI, which helped put all the captions on there, the fonts, the colors. And then I use another app that helps you find music for your videos called Epidemic Sound. And that's how we did that in probably, I would say I did that conversation with ChatGPT. It took me like 7 minutes, shot the video. That took 2 hours, edited, took 30 minutes. And then everything. So all in all, I'm looking at like 4 hours of my time. Before, if I had to write the script, I go back and forth. I sometimes question myself. I'm like, I don't know if this is good enough. Because it's AI, I'm just like, all right, let's just go with it. And simple, moved on. And now we have a little commercial for our thin air chips. So the other thing that we did is once Hector had created all these amazing assets through DALL-E and Midjourney, you have these visuals, the mood board. We can take those same images now and put them on Instagram. So on the left-hand side, you'll see that young Latina holding the bag. So that's one of our campaigns. It could be targeting young women. As Natalee was saying, our avatar was women. They are making the choices. They're health conscious. So we got to focus on them. So we want the colors to pop. So all of our Instagram would follow that same kind of style. On the right-hand side, this is the image that Hector said we had come to as the final image, but we put that through Runway ML. That's another AI, which takes your pictures and adds movement. So if you look closely, you can start seeing how the ingredients are moving in the background. It's great for Instagram. It just adds a different element, a little bit of flavor to your pictures. And as we were talking about earlier, the prompt we use, you are a world-class creative director for an advertising agency in downtown LA. You're helping launch a brand new product, Thin Air Snacks, a healthy alternative to snacking. We were very specific with what it needed to be. World-class creative director, advertising agency in downtown LA, because our product was going to be born in East LA. And this is our beautiful, beautiful packaging. This, again, would be part of our social media strategy. And that's it for social media and the marketing parts. So I'm going to give this back to Hector. Here you go,
I do want
sir.
to say, I think it's kind of interesting that, that video that you showed for the subtle movements, there's a kind of that 3D look to it. And AI, if you look at the trends in design and social media, it's actually informing some of those trends. So because it's more accessible to make these cool 3D looking images and to have movement and things, you'll see a lot more advertisements online because they pop out more.
Oh,
And
that's
so,
true.
with like advertising strategy, if that's something that you're doing in your business, using AI is a great way to get ahead of other people because now you're able to create something that really stands out and grabs people's attention. Because we know with social media, of course, it's all about attention. Right?
It is. But I also think that it's going to help you beyond just attention. I think it's going to help you craft your story. And at the end of the day, we're humans. The person that's buying your product or your service is another human. And we get sold on stories. So once you kind of have everything aligned, you can tell a cohesive story instead of just throwing this at social media and this, which you see a lot of times from businesses and personal brands. And for me, and so sometimes we just put all this stuff out there, but it doesn't really tell that story. And I think having the AI as a ChatGPT be that creative director in your business or for your personal brand helps just bring everything together. Then you start creating all the assets, which you can make colorful things or movement. And someone who works in the entertainment business, I'm seeing a huge shift. We are leveraging AI more and more and more every day. So this is going to be commonplace.
Yeah. It's also interesting that ChatGPT is not very good at math because it's a natural language model. So what that means, like the positive side of that is that you can go and have these back and forth conversations like Hector's talking about with having a circular relationship. If you speak to it as just the same way that we're talking right now and say, hey, look, I really want to create this brand and this is what it's all about, but I don't quite know how to communicate it, but I think this is what my people want. Even speaking like that, it can really discern and pull out what you're trying to say and say it back to you better than you can. So,
Sure.
playing with this tool is it's incredible. And I think the best place to start is the role that you're currently in, like create an AI version of that because you're the one who knows the nuance and how to finesse and how to ask the right questions. And so I think that's a great place to start and then going from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you've got years of experience in anything, if you've got a gift, something that you love to do, these tools will enhance, they will enhance your career. They will bring life to where maybe you're kind of you're all tapped out. You're like, "Ah, I've been doing this forever and kind of, don't know where to go next." Tap into AI, tap into those tools. The community at large is amazing. Like everybody that I talk to, it's just this wonderful community. We're all looking to do good things with it. And this is just one example. I mean, all the detail in these particular bags are all generated by us communicating our human intelligence with the artificial intelligence and coming up with collective intelligence. There's a gentleman in my ref group who's part of the global organization who that's his thing. He says human intelligence combined with artificial intelligence is collective intelligence. And I love that because it's exactly true. This would have taken forever 12 months ago, maybe not forever, but it would have taken a long time to do. But all those little nuances, every little detail in this package that showcases flavor and culture, there's no camera used in this shot. And you know how you're talking about social and the movement of things, and we're using runway ML. I was just reading today, I think I sent you guys, there's another tool. There's like 5 tools that are all competing for taking graphics and using movement. So it's really cool. It's things are going at such a fast pace.
Before we move, I do want to make a point. Like we keep saying it, and I think we got to keep reiterating. This is just a tool. There's good and bad in every tool. Social media, I talk about this a lot because I do have a daughter, and there are a lot of bad when it comes to social media, specifically with young kids, because they're so easily influenced. But on the flip side, I've been able to change the algorithms of my Instagram and my YouTube to keep giving me the right content that I want, that is going to be in relation to the future self that I want to be. So learning how to use these tools is the most important thing. AI is the same way. People are afraid that they're going to lose their jobs. Well, some of you and some people will, but a lot of other people will become more powerful because of this tool. So if I'm going to take this example with what Hector did, obviously he can prompt this and put this into DALL-E and it creates the image, but it's not that image. What you need is you still need his eye, his dedication to the craft of being a creative director, of understanding brand, to give you the ingredients on the side, the perfect lighting, which is something that you had mentioned to us before. If you notice the shadows, how they fall off, how the honey has that certain type of look, that's how detailed you have to be to really stand out. And that's how detailed Hector is when he was showing us samples and how you can change the lighting. So it's his mind and his creativity, but it's a new tool that's just making him speed up the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
Let's get in.
I think we've got some questions.
Oh, we get some
Should we
questions.
show up first? Or what?
It's up to you.
Yeah, we have questions.
Let's got a little announcement here before we so check this out, guys. We actually have product here. And this
see this.
this was born out of a meeting that I had with an actual client from East LA that's producing this product. And check this out, guys.
This is-
Have a
Oh, we
try
get
it.
to try some? Oh, I'm so sorry you guys don't get to try any.
This is the sweet heat barbecue.
So that's what it looks like. So what you're seeing on screen, we actually have them. Have
Mm.
made it
It's
happen.
Oh,
amazing.
dang, these are
Check it out.
Now you can tell these are not in stores yet.
Right.
Ooh, that has like a nice
But that is
aftertaste.
cool.
So these are vegan, non-GMO. I actually went to a cutting in the food business. That's where you go to a tasting for a new product. Did this 6 weeks ago to the day. Tasted it. We're in talks to actually, right? We're in talks to actually have an equity position with this product. This may not be the final name, may not be the final packaging, but this may be at your local grocery store in the next few months. Things are happening so fast. This particular product, there's several flavors, so that process has taken a while, but this is just an example of what you can do and make something out of thin air, like liquid death.
Yeah,
So we're hoping,
exactly.
yeah,
Following
do
that same
something like that.
trajectory. And that's where the name comes from. We just made it up.
That's it.
We really did this for you guys. We wanted to see if we can build a brand. We weren't going to go this far.
Yeah.
This is Hector just going, okay, we're going to go above and beyond. We just want to build a brand and see how we leverage AI for you guys to see the power of it. Because I think that's the best way to kind of learn, is also to see it just happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, let's open it up for questions. And I know there's some questions in the comments here.
Perfect.
So let's go
Wanna
through
read it?
that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the name of the program for moving food? The
Runway ML.
Yeah, there's Runway ML, there's Pika Labs. So runway, and then the letter ML. Look that one up. It's free to use. You get about 3 seconds. And then if you get the paid version, you get extra credit. So you can get video to move from 3 to 6 seconds. Pika Labs is another one that has just come out. That one is prompt to image, meaning you can actually prompt, I want to see a dog running in a park, and it will create that moving image for you. The more detail that you do it, the better it looks. Remember, we heard someone say this. This is like the revenge of the English majors.
Oh yeah.
Because the better you can explain in written language what you're looking for, the better the AI can work for you.
nice. This is a good question. How can you tie this all, or can you tie this into how, oh my gosh, can you tie this into how this all applies to building a family business?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So within a family business, you've got business owners, you've got employees, you've got people with different equity stakes. This will invigorate your business like 100%. It's gonna invigorate exactly what you do. It's gonna take, there's so many businesses, family businesses, that probably have been doing the same thing for generations. This is a whole new revolution that you can infuse into your business so that your new leadership will have a new role and be able to take things to new heights that the past generations couldn't do. So if those, the vision from the original founders can pass that off into second generations and third generations, and all that experience and knowledge from building a family business can be handed off to the younger generation that can adopt this AI technology and embrace it. And I think it's just something that you have to do. AI is traveling at such a fast pace that if you don't get on quick, you will definitely get left behind.
Yeah, I think that there's 3 things that I would recommend. There's personas, prompts, and processes. So we talked a bit about personas today. Really what that looks like is almost creating an org chart for your AIs and saying, what might AI do to support us? What are the existing roles that I have inside my business? Build out an AI for those to assist the person who's in that role. The second thing is the prompts. So one of the giveaways that we have for you guys is a prompt engineer. The prompt engineer is like the master of all custom chat GPTs, because literally the way that I use it is I'll go in there and I'll say, build me a world-class brand strategist. And that's all I say. And it writes out a complete and incredible prompt to build a world-class brand strategist.
That's really cool.
So you can, use that for anything, for a copywriter, marketing, customer service agent, so many different things. And then the last thing is process. So you have specific processes and ways of doing things. Teach that to the AI so that it follows what you want it to create. It's really thinking about the output that you want it to. So you've got your persona. What's the output that it's meant to create for you? Help it by giving it that process to get there. I think that's a great way to use that in a family business. And there's another question about like stretching your dollars. I think that right there is a great way to stretch your dollars, is to look at how can you offload some of those outputs to an AI and build AI processes into your existing processes.
And what everything Natalie said, I mean, it's true. Family business or just regular business, or if you're a freelancer, you have your own business. What it's doing, it's taking away some of the time and the tedious work that you're doing. If it's repetitive, it can be automated, and if you can use AI, then it's going to make it faster, cheaper for you. I'm mostly focused in the marketing and branding space and doing advertising. So I see it there in the content creation, but it also works in processes. And we really just focus on building this brand thin air chips for you guys. So we were more on the branding and marketing for today's webinar, but there are other AIs that are specific to just processes, operations. So you have these things in your company. You have a sales department, you have salespeople there. It can help them with their scripts. There are now AIs that can actually call and talk to consumers in live time, in real time. That is an AI doing your sales. It's still clunky because I've already heard it, but it's still revolutionary, because think about it, in probably 3 months, 6 months, you will be talking to AIs and you won't even know that you're talking to an AI. You will think you're talking to another human. So that's going to be really, really powerful. So there are a lot of different things that are out there right now for business. We just wanted to, again, we just were focused on the marketing and branding to show you a glimpse of AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing, this question here, how should a small business measure the success and return on investment of AI implementation? Here's a super cool hack that you can do. When you're done with a chat session with, say, ChatGPT, you can say, hey, so for example, I sat down with a business owner, Frister's, what's her name?
Oh, yeah, Ellie Woodard.
Yeah. And so Allie and I sat down and we built out a PR persona for her. And we came up with a schedule for the quarter of what different events she was going to do. And then I also wrote a press release for her nonprofit. At the end of the little session, I said, hey, thanks so much for your help today, ChatGPT. How much would it have cost us to hire someone to do this? And it, $500 for this, $300 for that. And so it was like an $800 session in 30 minutes, that she and I sat down and did. And so that's a great way, I think, to measure the ROI.
And it's only $20 a month once you start getting the paid version of ChatGPT. So a lot of these AIs are really cheap to use, and they're going to be monthly subscriptions because that's what they want you to do, but they're not that expensive.
No, is it
No.
$20 a month
Yep.
for ChatGPT? I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I
Any other
mean,
questions?
Yeah. Name of our podcast is the AI23 podcast. We can find us on YouTube. Hector, this is a good question for you. For image generation, we've talked about Dolly and Midjourney.
Yeah.
Can you help them understand the difference?
Yeah. So with DALL-E, it's one function that's within ChatGPT, and it gives you one image at a time. If you go into Midjourney, it gives you 4 images at a time. And the images, they're fairly the same. However, in Midjourney, you have a lot more functionality. You can add width, you can add height, you can res up. It just has, it's a whole bevy of additional functions and features that come with Midjourney. So we use both all the time. We use DALL-E, we use ChatGPT, Midjourney. Those are kind of the main differences. Yeah.
I think Dolly's more user-friendly.
It
That's the
depends
one
what
I
the user
use.
is. Yeah.
Because I don't know how to use
I
Midjourney.
guess it is. If you need a quick image, DALL-E, that works.
Yeah.
With your $20 subscription, it works great. Obviously, the more that you pay, the faster it goes. You can do more prompts. They've got it dialed in pretty good to where they're making a pretty good profit.
Yeah.
Everybody's using it.
Something I do want to add is that question about the family business. So obviously AI is going to be huge in business, but it's not the only place. Like our podcast, our tagline, it's going to revolutionize the way you live, work, and play. And outside of just work, I use wearables. This is tracking my sleep, my workouts, my heart. And once they start putting more AIs, they're going to start letting me know when's the best time to rest, recover, work out, what type of workout, what food is best for me. So you're going to see this in everything. And I mean, I already have a Ray-Ban glasses that have AI. So I'm telling you, it's going to be in everything that you touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is somewhat similar. How can a small business with limited resources keep up with the rapid advancements in AI technology?
If you have a small business and you have a niche, then AI is just going to enhance that niche. It's a small business, you have limited funds. You don't need a lot of funds to use AI. You just have to dive in. You have to jump in, you know? I think we all dabbled our feet 12 months ago, 11 months ago, something like that. We kind of dipped our toe. And then like 9 months ago, we were swimming in it. Like we cannot not do this.
Yeah.
It's just,
But I also
yeah.
think that it's important for everyone that's on here to start listening and kind of being a part of the conversation. You can check out our podcast. It's I'm not just trying to plug that, but we are talking about it in different ways, from business to the way it works to even how it's going to impact this next election, because AI is going to be a part of the next election, because it's going to be a part of social media. There are places like Fast Company, which is a great magazine, Wired, TechCrunch. You can learn a lot from what's happening. And I think it's really important to start paying attention, because it is part of a conversation that we all need to be a part of for AI to go in the right direction. It's a tool. It
Yeah.
can be used for bad or for good.
Yeah.
So the more of us that are focused on the good, then we can push that agenda so that machine learning keeps us humans still relevant on this planet.
Right. At least this week.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing that I think is important to understand is ChatGPT and OpenAI, it's kind of like the electricity that charges a lot of these options that you have. So there's so many different softwares and things that are popping up, and a lot of them are being powered by ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So to keep it really simple, you could just subscribe to the $20 a month OpenAI's ChatGPT, because it's extremely flexible. Some of these other tools, they're like forms that you have to fill out, and there's not as much back and forth like we talked about earlier, where you can have this more natural conversation. So if you are overwhelmed by all of the options, I think that's a really great place to start, because it's super low cost and it gives you the most flexibility for leveraging probably the most powerful AI that's out there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any questions?
No, we've got a couple minutes
Pull up
till
the
we
scorecard.
wrap.
Did we do
Oh
that?
yeah, we need to give you guys
Yeah.
your gift. Let's do that. We're having too much fun. So if you don't want to either take a screenshot, pull out your phone and scan that QR code, that's going to take you to a page where we're going to give you guys the insider's guide on how to use AI, as well as our 2 custom agents. So those agents, you do need to have a ChatGPT paid subscription in order to use them, but those will give you access to how we built out our ideal client. So that's where you could go input and build out your ideal client so you can get to know your customer better. And then also the prompt engineer. This is such a good one. And this will allow you to create any custom agent that you want. So I think it's a super awesome gift. We're excited for you guys to play with it. And we want to hear, if you do, how it goes and what you build with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're getting it for free with a value return on your investment of $1,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are great for you to start playing with and start getting a handle, because this is a new thing too, the custom chat GPTs, where you can build your own customized chat GPT. That's amazing. And it's just going to keep growing from there.
Yeah, and this is what we use to do the thin air chips,
Yep.
the thin air snacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And we may continue to just start adding more stuff as we develop more, things. We might just add some more gifts in there later.
Yeah.
So
So, all right.
Hey, guys, this is Doug. Quick, one other question that was out there. Can you give an example of how to use AI to build your brand within a financial services? Now, this may be a question we can give an answer to right off the top, or maybe we can just have this question posted with an answer out on our podcast website. So anyway, I'll post that question. to you guys and see if you can come up with anything you'd like to share with the audience real quick.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's a tough one, I know, because it's in the financial services area.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, it's interesting because we've got a guy who is in the financial services arena that we've been talking with. And so I think there's a couple sides to it. One is the customer experience that you give people and being able to be plugged into data and insights from the markets, and how to give them customized advice. Some of these things aren't necessarily going to be something that you can do with a product like ChatGPT, right? Because again, ChatGPT is a large language model, so it's meant to predict words, not necessarily go and analyze the markets. So you would want to look at other tools that are more industry specific for how you would maybe assist people with their financial services, but you could use it for, replying to emails or in your marketing of your services or in understanding your customer. One of the things that I use it for a lot is taking transcriptions of calls and analyzing those calls. You can do anything from creating meeting minutes that are super effective and they are templated the way that you want them, to understanding customer sentiment and saying, okay, what were the parts in this call with a client where they were really positively interacting and they were, um, showing signs of this was great customer service, they love it. You can also ask it for, okay, well, what were the common questions that my customers ask when we have our onboarding call? So it's a great way to analyze data and do research and just understand, like taking large amounts of data and processing that faster than you could on your own.
And so that was from Becky. So I actually worked in the financial sector when I came out of college, and I know there's a lot of compliance things that you have to take care of. But I can tell you right now, from building a brand, you can probably find your competition. So you can ask ChatGPT to look for people that already have a brand in the financial services industry via Instagram or YouTube, and to start analyzing them. I do that when I build new shows. So I'm building a show. I am actually creating a show in the financial industry, and I want to know what other shows are out there from CNN to NBC, and break down what is it that they do, what is it that they discuss, and what are things that are missing from that ecosystem that I can plug into. For me, that works because I'm building a new show. But for you, what you could do is start looking at what other people are doing in the branding, and then give you advice on, maybe you can start telling, you have your own show on YouTube where you start talking about why financial services or certain financial planning is super important, and give your perspective on it. You can do things where you're talking with clients. It can help you do that. It could also help you build like your logos and any kind of branding assets that you might need. So there are a lot of different things that you can do with it. But obviously we don't have a lot of time to go deeper, but it is something that you can definitely take advantage of, like we did with Thin Air Snacks.
Yeah, great question.
So any industry needs to do marketing, and
Of
they can
course.
use AI to
Yeah.
assist in that marketing at a very low
And
cost.
strategy
Yeah.
and
And
brainstorming.
oh, yeah.
Like there's a lot you can do with it.
Yep.
And that's it for us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys and everything that you've shared. And I'd like to thank our AI experts, Hector, Reko, and Natalie, and as well as all of you viewers for joining us. This webinar, by the way, is called Leveraging the Power of AI to Build a Brand, and it will be posted out on our First Bank family business website, along with our other videos. And with that also, there are several articles, research, and other information that will also be posted and available for everyone out on the website. So we'd like to invite you guys to check out that website again, first.bank/family business. You'll see webinars, podcasts, articles, and other research material out there. Now, upcoming next, please make plans to join us at April 9th from 8:30 to 9:30 Pacific time for our next webinar featuring National Speaker Hall of Fame member Mark Sanborn, and a great discussion about creating a culture of strong leadership in your business. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. I'd like to thank our hosts for an excellent topic and a lot of learning happening today. So again, wish you all the best. Have a great day.